Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Mommy Loves to Read. I'm Olivia and thank you for joining me today. So today I'm coming here to give you guys just a really quick library haul. Yesterday my kids and I went to the library. They had math games at the library. So we went to the math games, and then after that we went and checked out some books. And I'm just going to share with you guys the books that we got. But before we begin, let me tell you. So I went to the library and I was like, I'm going to get some books for my kids. I'm not going to worry about checking out any books. It's all about them today. But when we were on our way to the room where they were having the math games, I was just walking past, and then boom, this book was sitting on a display shelf. And so I was like, okay, you got to pick it up, Olivia. You have to check it out. So this book has been on my want to read list on Goodreads for a little bit, and I just have not gotten around to putting it on hold in my library. And so when I saw it, I was like, you know what? That's perfect alignment. It was meant for me to walk by at this very moment, at this very time, so I could check out this book. So this book is Color Me In, and it's by Natasha Diaz. I don't know much about this book, but the reason that it's on my want to read is I read a different book. I don't actually know what the book is right off the top of my head. And this book was just suggested to me like on Goodreads. You know how they'll suggest you a book? Like if you've read this, you'll probably like this too. And so that is how this book ended up on that list. And so this book I checked out for myself. So I'm excited to read it. I don't really know much about it. Oh, okay. So it's about a girl. And I think she's a mixed race girl. And so she goes and spends some time with her cousin who is not mixed race, and is just talking about their journey and things like that. So that's what this book is about. The next book that I got is another book for myself. Once again, we were leaving out of the children's section after my kids had checked out their books, going to the circulation desk, and the YA books are right next to it. And so I was like, okay, let me pop over there really quick and see if I can find a book. And so this is why I winded up getting the next two books. So the first book that I got at the YA section is by Jacqueline Woodson, and it's called The House You Pass on the Way. I didn't know anything about this book. I honestly just picked it up because it was written by Jacqueline Woodson. And every time I have read a Jacqueline Woodson book, it has not done me wrong. And this book, once again, falls under that category where it has not done me wrong. I actually started and finished this book yesterday. Like I said, the one thing that I love about Jacqueline Woodson books are they're short. So they're the kind of books where if you have a day, you pretty much can finish her books. The 3 books that I have read by her I have been able to finish each of them within a day, and this one was the same. This book was really good. In this book, you're following a young girl. She's 14, and her cousin comes and visits her during the summer, and she's kind of trying to figure out her sexuality and who she is, and she's very different from her sister that's her older sister. And so this book is just really good. I love what it's about, and once again, Jacqueline Woodson did a wonderful job. So I'm so glad that this book kind of just called my name and I picked it up. And then the last book that I got for myself in this library haul is going to be this book. It is called Genesis Begins Again by Alicia D. Williams. And this book, once again, I know nothing about. I feel like every time I go to the library and just get books off the shelf, I never know anything about them. But this book, the cover is why I was drawn to it. I really like the cover. It just kind of spoke to me, and I was like, I need to pick this up. Don't really know much about this book, but I think it's going to be a really good read, and I'm excited to get into it. So those are the 3 books that I checked out for myself, and the rest of the books in this video are all going to be books that I checked out for my kiddos. So the first book we got is Lola Reads Taleo. We got this book because we have a Lola book that we actually own. It's Lola Goes to the Library, and so my kids really love the Lola books, and so we picked it out. This was on the display shelf as soon as we walked into the children's section of my library, which made me very happy because, as you can see, Lola represents, she looks like she's African American, so I'm really excited about that. And like I said, these books are really awesome. We read this book this morning, and there's a couple of things that I like about this book. Let me show you guys the artwork. It's really cute. It's really fun. I feel like if you have maybe your kids, maybe all the way up to like 4 or 5, will love these books. But one of the things I love about this book is, one, it represents an African-American family. And there's one section in this book where Lola's baby brother Leo is born. And on this section, it says, it's talking about how Leo was crying, and it turns out he was just hungry. I don't know if you can see, but it shows the mom breastfeeding. And so I was really oh, excuse me, I can't talk. I was really excited about that. I'm a big advocate for breastfeeding, and so that just made me really excited. Not only is this like an African American family, but it shows a mama who is breastfeeding. So yes, go ahead and check out those Lola books if they have them at your library. Sorry, my throat was getting dry. The next book that we checked out is I Just Want to Say Goodnight by Rachel Isadora. This book we have checked out 1,000,001 times. So this is not the first time we check this book out, but my kids really love it. It's a Rachel Isadora book, and 9 times out of 10, if we go to the library and it is on the shelf, we are probably gonna pick it up. Pretty much any of Rachel Isadora books are really good. Let me show you guys the artwork. The artwork is really good. So pretty much in this book, you're following a little girl, and her mama is trying to get her to go to bed. And she's telling her mom, before I go to bed, mom, I have to tell all these different people good night. So she's telling different family members, different animals, just lots of different people good night. So it's a really good book. The next book we got is The ABCs of Prehistoric Beasts. I don't know if I've told you guys, but all 3 of my kids love dinosaurs. Anything to do with dinosaurs they really love, especially my 4-year-old. She can tell you that they are herbivores and carnivores and all these kind of things. They all just really love dinosaurs. And so when I saw this book, I was like, oh, it's about ABCs and it's about dinosaurs, so I definitely need to pick it up, and that is why we got it. So I think they'll like it. Once again, it's pretty cute artwork, just basic, nothing super exciting about it, but it did have dinosaurs, so I think my kids will love it. The next book we got is The Secret Olivia Told Me. So there was 2 reasons I picked up this book. One, the name Olivia, which is my name. So I was like, oh, that's going to be a good book because the character in the book's name is Olivia. And then the artwork I was really excited about. It's just kind of different. Throughout the story, the whole book kind of looks like this. The whole book is the black and white color scheme. And I really like that. I feel like it looks really cool and my kids would really like it. And this actually is a really cool book. This was the book. We read this book this morning also, and my kids really liked it. So it was really good. So we will definitely be checking out more books by this author. I've never read anything by Enjoy before, so we'll see. The next book we got is Potato Pants, and it is by Lori Keller. I don't really know anything much about this book. It just looked pretty interesting. Has potato on the front, and I kind of like looked through the artwork and it seemed pretty cute. So whenever we do go to the library with my kids, the way I choose books is if my kids go pull books off the shelf, 9 times out of 10 if they pick it up and give it to me, I go ahead and put that in our library bag. And just for reference, my kids are 4 and my twins are 2, so kind of like that. And then also normally I go through, and what I'll do if I see a book, normally with my kids' books, the front cover is what gets me, or the title seems very interesting. And then I kind of look through the book. The thing that I look for in books is I try to make sure all the books would get, if they have people in them, that it's kind of diverse, that everyone in the book kind of looks different, and also that there's a representations of people that look like us in the book. 9 times out of 10, if the book doesn't have anyone that looks like us in the book, I am not gonna check it out. Every once in a while we do get a book like that, but like I said, 9 times out of 10 I try to pick books where the characters are diverse and there's a representation of someone in the book that looks like us. So that is my criteria for children's books, if y'all are wondering. And like I said, most of the time if it's like a book like this potato book, all the characters in the books are potatoes, or books where it's like kind of like Eric Carle books. Those are generally books that have like animals and things like that. So those books I kind of just pick up. But if it's a book that has characters in there that are people, then that's when I try to make sure that it's diverse and it represents everyone. So the next book that we got is Lacey Walker, NonStop Talker. So I thought the title was really cute. It kind of rhymes. It had an owl on the front, and my daughter really likes owls. And this one is by Christiane Jones. And once again, the artwork is kind of cool. It's pretty simple, but my daughter is in preschool this year, so I've been getting a couple more books that have to do with just school and things like that. So I feel like it's fun and it's like relatable to her. And my daughter's a talker, so it's probably going to remind her of how she is at school. And then the last book that we got from the library is called The Fly by I don't know how to say this last name, Horek. I'm probably saying that wrong. Sorry. But yes, and this book, if you haven't guessed, is about a fly. So, like I said, this book is going to be one of the ones where, like, the main character obviously doesn't look like us, but I thought it was a really good story, and it has enough, I guess, representation of other things in the book. And I was like, you know what? I think we're going to go ahead and check this out. So yes, thank you guys for joining me. These are all the books that we checked out this week from the library. I plan on getting through them this week, and then we'll probably read some other books off of our bookshelves. I'll let you guys know in my next video how it's going. Like I said, my kids will definitely read all these books, because we read books during the daytime and before we go to bed. And then we'll see how long it takes me to get through my books. Like I said, I did finish the Jacqueline Woodson one. And right now I am reading The Water Dancer by Ta-Nehisi Coates. So that is my main read. And then the other two, I plan to just pick up here and there when I want to kind of take a break from The Water Dancer and read this one. So yes, thank you guys for joining me. I hope everyone had an amazing weekend, and I hope you go into your next week and it'll be full of joy and happiness and gladness, and then you guys have some fun reading. And comment down below and let me know, what are y'all's favorite books to get from the library? If you have kids, how you kind of decide what books to check out and what books not to check out. Like, what is your criteria? And also, how do you decide what books to check out for yourself? I tend to not go to the young adult and the adult section very much, because I always have my kids with me when I go to the library. And the way our library is set up is the kids section is separate. So by the time we spend all of our time in the kids section picking books, doing puzzles and coloring, they're like ready to go. So it's very rare that I actually get to go to the shelf and pull books. So that's why I was so excited about these 3 books. 9 times out of 10, if you see me get a book from the library, I put all my library books on hold. I go to the little hold shelf, check them out, and it's good to go. So yes, let me know how y'all kind of determine how you check out books and all those kind of things. And until next time, bye.